Hello, this is the Truth Seeker. This is a response to Sami Zaatari, Can God Become a Man? He uses a lot of the Western logic, of course. We're all subject to Western logic. If this, then that. Uh, a deductive reasoning, uh, you know. Or if it's not this, then it must be that. And we really have to be careful with in using our finite understanding and using uh, our senses. Our senses are finite. Our ability to understand is finite. There's no way that we could ever comprehend God, and I know that Sami agrees with this. What I don't understand is uh, is to put God in a box and say, this is what he can do and this is what he cannot do. Uh, if God wants to take on the form of a man, God can do that. Now that is the belief of most of the world. And this belief, that God can become a man, uh, it's not something that is just swept under the rug with a simple little westernized argument of, well, God cannot be limited, and if you put limits on God, then he's no longer God. Well, again, this is this either or situation. You say either God is limited or he's not limited. But what about a third choice? What about the third choice of, yes, he can be not bound by limitations, and yes, he can take on the form of a man. And in the religion of those of us that believe in a Messiah, we believe that he emanated from the Lord, or let's say that he is a form, that in him all the fullness of the deity dwelt. And it's very hard to comprehend. But it's like saying, well, you take this cup and walk over to that ocean there and put the entire ocean in the cup. See, but if you do go over to there and you get a cup of the ocean, you will have a little bit of that ocean in the cup. This is something that we were talking about this last Sabbath. And the thing is that how does an omnipotent God, how does a all-powerful, all-knowing, uh, unlimited being communicate with his creation? And we can look through the Torah, we can look through the scriptures, and we can see that there were mediators, that there were angels that acted on behalf of the Lord. And they received worship as the Lord. The angel of the Lord receives worship as the Lord. The angel of the Lord speaks as the Lord. But what do we see in the New Testament? We see some angels that say, don't worship me. In the case of men bowing down to other men, don't worship me. But when men bow down to the angel of the Lord accepts the worship. Now, is the angel of the Lord the Lord? Is the angel of the Lord just an illusion? I mean, this is all semantics, folks. I mean, you could say that the angel of the Lord is just an angel and a conduit. You know, this is semantics. I mean, this is semantics. You know, it's like, oh, that's not really God taking on the form of a man. You know, that's just a conduit whereby he speaks through. And accepts worship through. If God wants to take on the form of a man, God can take on the form of a man. Now, granted, that form that he does take on is not going to represent him in all of his unlimited power, but it will be a representation of the compassion of the Lord and the understanding of the Lord and the truth of the Lord. I don't know what to say, but we can sit here and we can put limitations on God and say God cannot take on the form of a man, because if he did, therefore he would no longer be unlimited. Well, in my opinion, I can still say that he can take on the form of a man and remain all-powerful. Here's the thing. There is a plurality in the Lord. Whether one wants to acknowledge this or not, there is a plurality, an incomprehensible plurality. I'm not talking about 3 and 1 and 1 and 3. I'm talking about God is everywhere. Okay? Okay? It's as simple as that, folks. God can do whatever he wants to do. Okay? All right, this is the Truth Seeker. God bless everyone. Keep seeking truth.